What's going on, Mongs? It's me, Semi-Mong, and today we're back on Crowfall, and today I want to share a leveling tip with you that I've come across the weekend. God, my English is terrible. Which I've stumbled across upon. I have no idea. I've discovered a quick leveling tip. You guys know that I've had trouble leveling over the past few weeks, but yeah, I wanted to share this with you and hopefully help you guys level up as well. So as you can see, I'm level 22 and I actually had problems being a solo player, gaining XP and trying to get to level 20 to unlock my second major discipline slot and put my sort of combat PvP actions into plan. When you start off Crowfall at level 1, you can kill any ranked mob and it will give you some EXP. But as you start to level up, I believe around like level 15, 16, certain ranked mobs won't give you EXP anymore. So for example, say you're level 16, you won't get EXP from, say, rank 1, 2, 3 or 4 mobs. To get XP from mob killing, you would have to kill, say, rank 5, 6, 7. You would have to kill the higher ranked mobs. Also, at a certain point, when you, once again, I don't know if this is the exact number, but say level 15, you can't sacrifice common quality items for XP anymore either. So you can see I'm hovering over my advanced pistol here, and you can see if I went to sacrifice this, it cannot be sacrificed, and I cannot gain sacrifice from produced goods, crafted goods that are common quality. Whereas if I go over, say, an uncommon item such as uncommon copper ore, I'm still able to sacrifice this. So in a nutshell, with Crowfall leveling, the earlier levels are really sort of not easy, but you can sort of fly by them. You can kill lower ranked mobs and get EXP from mob killing, and you can sacrifice common quality gear. But at a certain point, at a certain level, a certain threshold, I'm not quite sure what it is, I'm pretty sure it's around level 15, you can no longer gain EXP quite as easily. You have to kill higher ranked mobs and you have to sacrifice higher quality goods, which in turn, I found a sort of a, not an easier way to level up or gain XP, but just sort of an alternative route. Now my problem with reaching that threshold is that I don't want to go to points of interest as a solo player, as a lonely Guinea-Sean duelist, and have to kill higher ranked mobs at these points of interest, say rank 7, rank 8, rank 9. There is multiple reasons for this. You can get killed by the higher ranked mobs. As you can see, I'm level 22, but I've not actually got the best gear. I'm still in common quality weapons, and I'm still yet to get an advanced armor set. We're actually going to make that in the next video. So killing higher ranked mobs is a bit dangerous for me. If I get grouped up on by 3 or 4 of them, I can die, and of course that will set me back. Also, with points of interest and having to kill higher ranked mobs, is that when you're in the campaign world, you're going to be fighting against other faction members. Points of interest are highly sought after sort of areas, of course, with resource gathering and collection. You're going to get groups of other faction members that will potentially come and gank you. Of course, me being a solo player, I can't take on 3 or 4 other players, let alone 3 or 4 high ranked mobs that are just bombarding me with my crap gear. My second sort of a setback or nitpick, whatever you'd like to call it, is that as you get higher ranked, I don't particularly want to be sacrificing all of the uncommon and rare resources that I've got. I'm slowly making my way to being able to actually just I'm slowly progressing in terms of just power progression. I'm getting my ore specialization up there, and I'm getting my crafting specializations up there as well. So I'm slowly going to be wanting to use and produce crafted goods out of these resources, let alone actually sacrifice them to be able to level up. So in today's video, I just want to go through what I do to level up and what I did to get from level 17 to 22 over the weekend within a matter of about an hour, and that is sacrificing potions. Now, before I get into the numbers of what you need to sacrifice potions and how much EXP they give you, once again, this is only an alternative route. You really, ideally, want to say be going to these points of interest, killing these mobs, because you can gather at the same time, especially if you've got friends and you've got a group with you. Going to these points of interest to do a giant EXP farm, gaining the gold from the undead, the zombies and the spiders and whatnot you're killing, can be really efficient. But once again, I'm on my own, I'm a solo polo, I'm a Billy, and I'm finding this route of gaining EXP via potions a lot easier for me myself. So yeah, it is just a case of whether you want to go out, take the risk of killing mobs, but you also get gold and other resources, or whether you want to take a more, what I would see as a passive route to leveling via potions, because all it really requires is 1 discipline, a few bits of stone, which we'll withdraw now, and then a few bits of ore or any other resource. The stone is non-negotiable. The other resource can be any resource you want. You just need 6 resource. Say if you want to make a mining potion, you need 6 ore. If you're a skinner and you've got skin specialization, use the skinning. I'm only using my ore because I've got the most specialization in ore. So as you can see, all of the skill training here, whenever I mine a copper or iron node, I'm going to get a hell of a lot more common quality resources and of course higher quality resources compared to animal or stone specialization, which I've only got a few % in. Now before I go ahead and just showcase how much EXP and how easy it is to make these potions to sacrifice, one of the main components you're gonna need is water flasks. Now these aren't hard to obtain. It is not so much effort to obtain. You're not in any danger, say when you're going out and fighting mobs. It's just more of a time consuming thing. You have to collect them from wells. And I'll switch now over to the God's Reach map, where I can just showcase a couple of well locations and go through how quickly they respawn. Alright Mongs, obviously to find water flasks you have to find wells throughout the campaign maps, the campaign worlds and whatnot. And what I've found out is that if I whip up my campaign map here, of course I'm the Chaos faction, so coming from the Chaos faction temple, just from your home base, your hub, literally just outside, the portal's right there. There is a well down here, literally 30 seconds away from the portal, and these respawn every 5 minutes and they contain 2/3 water flasks at a time. So what I like to do, say I'm making a cup of tea, say I'm watching something, doing a little bit of work, I'll just sit here AFK, pop out of stealth every couple of minutes, check the well, and collect 2 or 3 water flasks. I've gotten about, where are we? I've got 5, 6, 7. I've gotten about 20 in total. Yeah, I've got 20 total, and that must have took me about an hour. It is every 5 minutes, which is a bit of a time consumer, so to say, but it's just an easy option pretty much. Something to note here as well is that I've done a little bit of a recon across the whole map, and what I tend to find is that I'm finding wells near most portals. There's a well up here near one of the points of interest. It's not necessarily near the portal like it is here with the Chaos faction temple. It's actually near, on top, the edge of the point of interest where you sort of where there's like an abandoned building. And there's also another well location just down here by the Britia portal. So they tend to be near the portal locations. I haven't actually located any sort of say out in the open near the forest points of interest or near the war tribes. So if there is any other locations that you know of, this is the God's Reach campaign map as well. I am in Formosa. Let me know down below, or if there's any sort of formula that you use to find wells or locate them. But from what I can see, they are basically near the portals. So as you can see on the God's Reach map, it's literally just a case of finding a well location near the portals, getting a couple every 5 minutes. You get 2 or 3. Once, as I said, you could just sit there, have a cup of tea, work on a few other things, and just slowly gather them up. I think in the past half an hour, 45 minutes, where I was literally just working on a couple of other things, I managed to get 20. So it's not that bad. But what you want to do is sort of base your other resource collection and harvesting off of how many flasks you got, because it takes 1 flask, 6 resources, and 2 stone to make 1 potion. But the idea here is that you can either base it off of how much resource you've got to spare, or how many flasks you have, because the 2 stone actually makes 3 empty flasks, where you only need 1 empty flask pretty much. And 1 potion gives you 94 XP. So you can sort of see how I'm liking this alternative route of just having to go out, gather a few bits of stone, which admittedly is a little bit more ore compared to the stone, and then just sit and collectively AFK some water flasks for a bit. And what's nice about this is even from say level 15, 16, 17, the potions don't drop in XP value. So as you're leveling up and sacrificing things, as I said before, the threshold of where you can no longer sacrifice common quality goods, the XP values of those common quality goods start to drop until you finally hit that threshold and you can no longer sacrifice them. But it seems the uncommon potions don't drop in value, so from 17, 18, 19, 20 and beyond, they stayed at 94 XP. So rather than having to go out, kill some R5s, R6, R7 mobs at these points of interest, which as I've gone through have their pros and cons, but yeah, can be a little bit more dangerous, especially on the actual campaign world, when you're not in God's Reach and you can be ganked from faction members. It is a little bit more of a passive and AFK route. You just have to go out, gather some resource, get some water flasks, and then you are done. I like to base my whole alchemy creation on how many flasks I've got, rather than how much resource I've got. So I've got 20 flasks, meaning I'm going to need 20 empty flasks. So if I click on harvesting potions here, to create a potion you need 6 ore, 1 empty flask, and 1 water flask. Now to make the empty flask, you need to grind down stone. So if you go and grind resources, 2 stone actually makes 3 empty flasks. Okay, so I had 20 water flasks that I collected from wells. 20 stone got me 15, so I'm going to need another 5. So I'm going to need another 4 powdered stone. So in reality, I used 25 stone for 20 flasks, pretty much, which is not that bad. The only time consuming thing is collecting the 6 resource per flask that you would need after that. There we go. So we used 20 flasks, which, as I said, took about half an hour. Got 24 stone, which you can literally get in one node. Like say there's 5 stone nodes in one area, you could roughly get about 24 stone, depending of course your skill training. And then to match that, the final thing we need is of course the resource that we are using. I've specialized in ore, so I can get a hell of a lot more ore compared to other resources. So that's what we're going to be using today. And seeing as it's 6 ore per flask, we're going to need 120 ore to get 20 flasks here. And then we'll find out how much EXP we can sacrifice those for in just a second. So let me go ahead and create all of the mining potions. And then we will go to the water bazaar and see what we can sacrifice these for. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you reached a threshold of which that it's getting hard for you to level up just from killing lower ranked mobs? You're having to now kill higher ranked mobs and sacrifice higher common quality gear. Do you want to go out of your way to go to these points of interest to kill these higher ranked mobs? Or would you prefer a more passive alternative route, especially if you are more of a gatherer and harvester such as myself? You're having to go out, harvest and gather to get resources to create armor and blacksmithing, armor and weapons. But then you're also having to go out and level up your character. Once again, once you're past that certain threshold of level 15, you're having to take conscious decisions and take time out to actually go out and farm up these mobs. Whereas the route I'm taking, I'm literally just going out on my harvesting and gathering trips and just using half of the resource that I get from them towards armor and weapons and the other half towards XP. So I'm taking out a sort of a second node of gameplay where I don't have to focus and take time out of my day to go out and farm mobs. I'm just using the resources that I got from my standard gameplay day, just going out and harvesting and gathering, and then leveling up my character that way. Like, honestly, it's really not that time consuming. Everyone goes out and harvests and gathers for, say, ore or leather or wood to create weapons and armor anyway. I'm still doing that. I'm just using a portion of the resource that I get to as well level up my character, and not having to take my time out of my day to go to these points of interest, kill these high ranked mobs, and of course have that dangerous element to it of getting killed and getting ganked by the mobs themselves or the other faction members. You could also take a couple of these potions out, 1 or 2, and actually use these for later game, like in autumn and winter, to boost up your plentiful resource, so you can once again go and harvest and gather even in the later months of the game. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's currently level 22 is nearly 800 XP to level up. Level 21 was 750, level 20 was about 730, and 1 potion gives us 100, and as you can see, 20 potions here gives us 1,878, so nearly 2,000. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As I said, this is a more passive way to level up and not have to focus on points of interest and higher ranked mobs. Something to note here is that you don't want to chuck them all in at the same time, because 938 XP, even though I need 791, the remaining XP won't be put towards my next level, or at least I don't think it has, because a few weeks ago I did this. I put in all of my items, had like a total of 2k XP, and it like sacrificed that remaining 1,200, and it got lost. Like, I didn't receive it, which is a bit of a bummer, but and we don't need 751, we need about 500. So let's cut that down to 4, put them together. What have we got? We've got 563. Is that going to be enough? There we go. Yeah, it is. A little bit overkill, but I don't want to get the exact maths right. But there we go. Another level just from going out, harvesting, gathering, and AFKing a few of the wells. And we now need 818 XP. That's just a little bit too much. So let's take 1 away from there. How much is 9? 845. I'll happily do that. There we go. Confirm. And then we've got 5 more potions. We made 20 in total. We've managed to get 2 levels from 20 potions, about an hour's work. and then the final 5 will get us another 469. What I'm actually going to do here is sacrifice the rest of the potions I've got, because I'm currently recording 2 videos simultaneously. I'm going to go create another leather armor set and create more rune tools so we can go out, kill some mobs and get some major and minor disciplines, and of course gather some more. But that's in a separate video, so be sure to subscribe or check back to the channel. But let's confirm this, sacrifice those last few potions, and finally we are level 25, which means I can go ahead, spec 1 into quick reload and then spec 1 into dirge, giving me more piercing, crushing and a ton of other statistics. But guys, let me know what you think about this potion sacrificing leveling technique down below in the comment section. I want to hear your opinion, and if you've got any other tips or tricks, be sure to comment them down below. I want you to get involved and just be a part of the Game On channel. Be sure to check the description for links to my Game On, Amazon and Redbubble stores. Thank you for all of the support, and I shall see you in the next video.